Is that the...
Guatemalan, high altitude, virgin cane.
Wait, you really good and got rum.
It's 23-year aged.
Why?
Barrel aged.
Do you have it?
Because we mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Made a joke that Steve was nervous.
Got some rum.
It wasn't a joke.
Well, he doesn't get recorded very often, so
Yeah,
you know.
like ever.
That's actually very...
Got my beer, got my rum.
Scotcheroo.
Scotcheroo.
Well, the guest today on the podcast, this is Sparkly Steve.
Are you even recording yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I had a thought earlier. I thought, do people call you Sparkly Steve to your face? And I didn't know for sure because...
Only here.
Only here.
I'm good with that. I like
He
it.
doesn't want to be Dr. Steve.
No.
Well,
Ooh,
it
that's
started with Jess writing on a bag of coffee you got here that said Sparkle Steve.
He's the most sparkly of the Steves I know. He's
Yeah.
also the Green Wizard. No.
I'm one of them.
You're King B.
Half.
Who's King B?
That would be me.
You're King B.
Yeah. Bagel's my queen.
Who's got the royal
Since
jelly?
he's not here.
Ooh.
Good one.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Or Stephen Bach.
Yeah.
And Annmarie has a real fake name, Annmarie Geniusz.
Yeah, that's my real name.
Oh, wait. Okay, that was some whiplash right there because then I got confused. So it's a real name.
That's my real name.
It's a real
that's
fake name.
my family name.
Why do you keep saying fake? Now you're throwing me out.
How can that be real?
It sounds so fake, but yeah.
It looks like it's not spelled correctly, which is...
It is Polish,
Oh, that's probably why then.
and you're not a genius.
Polish
Yes.
spellers?
It's just pronounced like it looks, which is the thing.
Yeah.
Wow, nuts.
When my great-grandfather came over, he decided it was more important that his descendants knew what their name meant than how to say it.
That's fair
So.
enough. Yeah, that really explains it all. I feel like I should really Polish, that kind of thing. That should
It's Polish.
Not necessarily specifically Polish, but I should connect those dots faster than I do.
It's more than a sausage.
Yeah, there's pierogies.
Oh. I made it late to the Polish deli in Cincinnati last month for my pierogies, and they didn't have any left, so we went to a Jamaican place.
Oh.
Well, they had lots of sausage, but it was raw, and we were traveling. It's like coils and coils of sausage.
Coils of sausage.
Yeah, I wanted to buy
Very
sausage,
Polish.
but I was like, well, I don't know how to get to the manifold, and I don't know. Cook this with a lighter? I don't know. Your thumb gets hot.
So was this with cooking on the car?
This was just last month with Tina.
Oh,
Yeah, he wasn't
okay.
in the right car for cooking
Right.
the Polish
I
sausage.
did have an
If he was
induction
right
range
car,
in the
he
back,
could've-
but I didn't have an inverter for the cigarette lighter, which I don't know if cars have those anymore. I don't think they do. They have
Yeah, a
like
lot of them have them just so
they
that
have
you
USB
can do things.
plugins,
like,
I think,
yeah,
now.
cook sausages.
like cook
Polish?
sausages and
Speaking of random cooking, this morning at 5:30 in the morning, there's a guy built a fire in our cigarette butt container out back, and he was trying to cook eggs.
Nice.
So I was cleaning up a bunch of.
Was it Dan?
No.
Friend of the show, Dan Dresser.
Maybe.
Sorry,
though.
Dan Dresser.
He ran away when Angela showed up, so I don't know. And then all his eggs fell and broke.
Oh, no.
I was picking up frozen eggs today. I was like, oh, what?
Oh.
Bonfire gone bad.
Oh.
But I'm glad it didn't have
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse.
I don't like it.
so-
It was like right next to the building. It's
Yeah,
like,
burnt
oh.
eggs.
Yeah,
We got burnt
exactly.
eggs.
And that,
Smoky eggs.
And nothing would have been worse than burnt eggs.
Yeah. Or cook your eggs on cigarette butts, too. It's
Yeah,
like,
see,
oh.
yeah.
I remember someone ashed in my taco at Taco John's back when people still smoked in restaurants, and the cook was smoking and cooking, and I ate my taco, and it was like, oh.
Ugh.
this is the worst story
This is
ever.
Which one?
The taco with the ash in it.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah, gross.
Disgusting.
I know. Ugh.
Boy, sometimes sometimes you look around the world and you think, things are rough, aren't they? And then you realize, but how often does that kind of thing happen anymore? I think food safety standards, at least this country, are a lot better nowadays.
I do
where you're not having things like ash in your tacos anymore.
Not as much.
Progress,
No,
slow but sure.
Yep. It's true. They used to smoke at the pizza place in Lincoln Park, too. What was that? Lee's Pizza. I remember getting pizzas from them, and guys just saucing pizzas, ash hanging off. I'm just like, I still remembered the taco. I was like, oh.
When was that?
Well, before the smoking ban.
Oh.
It's been a while. Ireland beat us on the smoking ban.
Good for them.
I know.
Yeah.
But we beat Spain
And so things are
The World
as they
Cup?
should be.
in smoking indoors.
I was just talking about this with somebody earlier. I mean, it was either today or yesterday about like, smoking in high schools too. It's like not that long ago where that was a thing.
I never smoked in high school, but I definitely hung out with everyone smoking in high school.
Oh, yeah.
At Perkins, like at
Oh.
2 a.m, drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, and at Perkins, that was like
You
what
went to high
kids
school
used
at
to do.
Perkins?
So I had read Annmarie. Do you go by Anne or Annmarie?
Annmarie.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Thank you for clarifying. You're from Wisconsin,
Yes,
what-
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee specifically. Okay, I didn't
Milwaukee.
see that.
Oh, so you drink out of the bubbler?
Yes, you got a
Ooh.
Bubblers.
Oh,
Can't remember any more Milwaukees right now.
Milwaukeeisms.
Milwaukeeisms.
Did you used to go to a Boo's Middle Eastern Cuisine?
Oh my gosh.
That was like my favorite place.
I remember that.
Rosewater lemonade, good
Wow,
fluffles.
yeah, because they used to be at festivals, so you'd go and get your Rosewater lemonade cup and you'd go get refills forever. Yeah.
Wow.
I miss that place. I went there and it was gone.
Oh. Oh.
But I'm sure
Well, I
there's
think
something
they
else.
also
Smoking
ended
ban.
that festival because that was the Middle Eastern festival that went on in the summer, which was
They ended it.
yeah, it ended some point. I don't know.
Make way for Miller.
Probably
More beer fest.
Beer?
more beer fest.
Is that Summerfest? What's the big? That's isn't it?
Yeah, there's a
Is that
whole
Milwaukee?
yeah. Milwaukee has Summerfest, and then the rest of the summer it's all different ethnic festivals and groups.
Oh yeah, they
and-
do the big German.
Yeah, German Fest,
Fest.
Polish Fest, Irish Fest.
Yeah, they have.
major food
There's
groups.
Indian summer is usually in the fall, a little later. I moved out when I was 18. I don't really.
Oh, and was it then here or were you moving
I've
around?
lived in a lot of places.
Okay.
So yeah. So we've been here for the longest, I think, like 16, 17 years now.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
It's been a while.
a hunk.
So
But
6?
yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah, that sounds
06.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many years ago that was.
Yeah,
But
neither.
06 is
It's
is-
two
is-
more than 2 less than 12. And it plus
I haven't done that math in a while.
yeah,
I don't know.
not a-
Where's my phone?
But yeah, before that it was like Memphis, Tennessee, Fairbanks, Alaska, Missoula, Montana, Minneapolis for a
Oh,
little bit.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What eventually drew you to Duluth then?
Steve got a job up here.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
just that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
So where were you guys when you guys met then?
Missoula.
Missoula. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Montana.
It's a hippie town in the mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have
Oh,
a
okay,
Higgins
so-
Bridge.
Oh,
Higgins Bridge,
wow.
they do. Oh my gosh. Jason knows everything.
Woodblind almost got hung off of it for a party. We were gonna play suspended.
Oh,
not
wait,
that.
wait.
Okay, I was thinking
okay.
something
So
else.
boy, yeah, that was.
That would have been hanged.
Oh, not
hanged
hung.
off.
The
I-
band.
No.
We hate ska here in Missoula. And we're just gonna make an example of this
Yeah.
Woodblind.
Remember there was a town that would welcome Woodblind, Missoula.
I love Missoula. No, we used to go there all the time.
Actually, I think I saw a picture of Steve playing on a rope swing off that bridge in the river.
Right off of it.
Yeah, that was the goal. We were gonna have a
Okay,
free
so-
concert for the public, hang off the bridge, the Higgins Bridge in Missoula. But then the insurance wouldn't go for it, and
You haven't-
then we were gonna be on a barge, and
you have insurance?
we didn't, and
Oh.
no one wanted
Oh,
to
that's
buy
why.
it, so they didn't want to do that.
And you didn't want to just risk it.
I
You
might
don't want
have.
to risk hanging off the bridge.
We ended up playing at the Big Dipper instead, the ice cream
Oh,
shop.
that place is awesome.
And then everyone jumped in the river and floated down, and then got out, and there was another band after. So it was still kind of cool.
That's cool.
I like the idea of being suspended over a bridge, though, but it would have been a giant wedgie, I bet, by the end.
That's if you
Oh,
wear
can you imagine
underwear.
the Baco's bass? That'd
Yeah,
be
well,
horrible.
that was the thing. His friends like does stuff in Vegas for like all the
Casinos? Or...
and like suspending
Events.
people and all the circus
Oh, magicians.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
like
don't know.
and mixed with the mountain
Mural
climbing people and
painters.
the riggers. I was like, they got this. They had it all sorted out.
Well, so it would have, you didn't need the insurance then.
No,
You had all the talent.
we did
you
need the
needed.
production and the okay from the mayor.
Oh, the mayor.
The darn
the
mayor.
Oh.
He wanted the
Mayors.
insurance, or she. I don't know who it was. So, you met on the bridge? No,
No, we met in
Woodblind concert?
the dorms, actually.
I wanted to play frisbee.
the door.
I was knocking at every door that's looking for somebody to play frisbee. Ultimate frisbee.
Like a
Oh.
golden retriever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it
play?
was like the week before
my-
classes even started, so I was just hanging out in the dorm and yeah,
I majored in ultimate frisbee.
he
Those are
did.
for
He
more people.
did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep. Did that more than study.
It's good you're not working
That's
in
where
the ER anymore.
Maybe the man I am today.
What an interesting way to start a relationship.
Yeah, he asked me to play frisbee, and I told him only the cool kids played frisbee at my high school, so I didn't play frisbee and I didn't even know how to throw one. And he's like, "Oh, it's just my friends. It's impromptu. It's not. We're bad. Don't worry. You just come out and we just throw it back and forth. It's no big deal." So I got out to this field, and I'd never actually seen ultimate frisbee before, so I didn't understand this was a game. I didn't understand there were goalposts. All I knew is we were going back and forth, running, and these frisbees were literally doing circles around me and other people, and these people knew a lot of tricks. Like, they were not
awesome.
beginners. And when everything seemed to get to a lull, I was like, okay, I'm going to sneak off and never talk to them again.
That's
So
yeah.
he came and found me later, and like I'd showered and got dressed and stuff, and he's like, "Are you okay? You left during halftime." And I'm like, there was a halftime? Well, what are we talking about?
You missed the show.
It was beer time.
Good for you for entertaining the idea at least.
I
'Cause I don't think I would have.
I feel like I was pretty honest, like right from the start of a relationship. I'm like, I don't know how to play frisbee. I don't really play frisbee.
I mean, all the
And
running
then I
alone.
left.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't run
Running,
this much.
coordination.
This is
I'm an
deal
artist.
breaker.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, see,
This
exactly.
is
Yeah.
not a thing.
more of a sedentary kind of person. I'll paint a frisbee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete.
Oh, I guess so. Then going back to being in Milwaukee, what kind of were you doing art at all? Like in any sort of like a
I was in high school.
yeah. So like
yeah.
So at that point just
Well, my dad was an art teacher.
Oh,
So
that's
I
nice.
grew up with a lot of art
Oh,
around and a
fair.
lot of art supplies.
Free paint.
Free paint, a lot of like, hey kid, I got bus duty. You stay here for 45 minutes. I'll be back. Use whatever supplies you want. Don't make a mess. It was a great way to grow up.
yeah. I thought, yeah, right. And at what point then did you make the transition to doing more? Because I feel like nowadays the reason I know of you is just 'cause I feel like you're always getting reported on and
I know,
in
it's really
newspapers
weird.
and things.
It's
Oh, look
really
at this
surprising.
big thing Annmarie's doing, and yeah, which made taking notes for this episode a lot pretty easy. So, it's all sorts of information. So when did that change kind of start happening in your life?
It's been relatively recently, actually, which is
Yeah.
why, well, for example, the photographer today didn't know me because he's like, I asked 2 people and they didn't know you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know a lot of people.
I wonder who the 2 people were.
Well, one of them, I just sent him a note on Facebook so we can be friends.
Oh, that's nice.
He's another artist I've seen at events. I just never have talked to him. But
Fair enough.
It was his mother. And some total stranger he's never met.
no, they made sense. It just, I didn't know them. It kind of started after my mom died.
Mm.
It was like 2016, 2017. And I started getting so upset that like I couldn't physically not be drawing or doing some sort of art. So like I would show up to Wussow's and watch Jason playing in Woodblind, and I'd be drawing comics.
Oh.
And I think it was Jacob Mann who was like, "Hey, that's really good. That actually looks like me. Can you draw more of me?" And so I just started kind of drawing Jacob for a while, obsessively.
Oh, yeah, that was when I was in middle school and in early high school. I had a few comic books that were entirely populated by friends of mine and just
Right.
people around me.
It's just what happens.
And they because exactly.
And then when you're trying to like get your hand back up to speed, you're just like, well, I'm just going to keep drawing this person because it helps like hand-eye
and I
coordination.
still
to keep
draw them to
being
this very
repetitive.
day.
I thought you were saying you were in middle school just a few years ago. I was
Well,
like,
it
wow.
was just a few relatively. When did I get? That was it was in 8th grade in 2011, 2012.
Me too.
Yeah, you do. Oh yeah,
hey.
yeah. Well, that's funny. Yeah.
And then you got arrested.
Class-
What are you doing here? You can't be here, sir.
I'm just trying to graduate.
It's the exact opposite of a bunch of kids in a trench coat.
Awkward pauses by Steve.
It's
It's 'cause I keep throwing-
it is
Sorry.
worth noting that those get cut out and everything, so like it won't seem as awkward and pausing. Let's see, what else do I got? Jason, do you have any questions too? You organized
Were you
all this.
doing
and so-
drawings at the Fuel Cafe in Milwaukee?
I don't know if I've ever been there.
Oh, really? That was
What was it? What was it again?
the Fuel Cafe.
The Fuel.
It's kind of a famous spot.
Yeah, it is. It is. I know of it. I just don't know if I've ever actually been to it.
They'd give bands free soup sometimes.
Oh, dang.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
They had a collaboration with a brewery and had one of the first like coffee stouts or something. And I happened to be playing in Milwaukee when the first one came on at the tasting room, which is probably long gone. And they had the first keg of this Fuel Cafe coffee beer. And then I noticed it in Duluth one time, but I don't know if I haven't seen it lately. And then we were sleeping in our van next to it, and someone tried to break in, and
I love this story.
but 6 people popped out of a van like a clown car, and that one person ran away, so it worked out.
Man, the worst van they could have picked.
Yeah, the worst van. The oldest, rustiest, broken van with the poorest ramen-eating ska van. What are you going to get?
Yeah.
Dirty socks?
Cigarettes.
No, probably not.
Cigarette butts?
Yeah.
Not even probably. I don't know. I don't even know what was in that van. It's probably still there. It's probably rotting in someone's yard.
We'll shift a little bit, staying kind of in the past. So you're a doctor,
Sometimes.
which is something I didn't even know until we started planning. Jason told me.
I
about
like to
this
keep
podcast.
it secret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that would
No.
explain it. I don't feel like I ever talked to people in the medical field, so I'm just curious. Why that seems really stressful. Why would you do that?
It's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, I mean, you've done it
A long time
still.
ago.
See, okay, well, there you go. A long time ago. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Once you're in it, it's hard to get out.
Is okay. I guess that is fair enough.
Golden handcuffs.
It's like rapids.
What drew you to it
Rapid, yeah.
initially, though?
Like river rapids. Once you're in, it's hard to get out.
without a helicopter.
Right? Yeah.
And then you need a
I should
doctor.
get one of those.
How are you a doctor is the question, doctor.
Good question. I passed my boards.
You have superpower skills. You're a shapeshifter.
Keep them hidden.
Very hidden.
You deter with the sparkle.
Right? My favorite is when people first find out I'm a doctor, like, what? I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have guessed. But yeah, I guess I don't know if doctor would have been one of them. I don't know.
I would have guessed you're in a ska band.
Me too.
I would.
If I could play
You
an
play
instrument.
trombone?
I was just talking about that the other day. I should learn.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
he's
my
too
God.
busy playing yo-yo right now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Hobby, the
Those
yo-yo.
are similar, just kind of like the back and the
Right.
forth, kind
Yeah,
of
there
just.
you go. There you go.
But then I whack myself in the face with the
Oh.
yo-yo, and I'm like, oh.
You could
Just don't smile when you're doing it.
Right.
yo-yo or
Is that how you play
trombone.
trombone?
Yo-yo.
Oh.
If you were a smiley trombone player, that would be amazing embouchure. And it would look great. Just like weird teeth. Like, how's he doing
I
it?
don't think it would look great. I think it'd be kind of creepy.
Yeah, it would be. But in a good way.
Future
Yeah,
goals.
Yeah. You could
Future
embrace
goals.
it. One thing worth noting, because people can't see this, is you've got quite the outfit on, and you tend to.
Thank you.
It's always.
I'm all sparkly for him.
I know it is a normal outfit. Every time I've seen you, it's always in some very bright colored outfit. I don't know if I've ever seen you in the same thing twice.
Uh-oh.
And-
I burn it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wear it and
You
then
know
burn it.
about the
there you go.
closet.
There you go. It's efficient. I guess again, I find this in my brain, doctor is this very kind of serious, well, sterile white other thing. Is that what's kind of drawn you to being colorful and
That's why I don't advertise I'm a doctor, because I'm more of a
Right.
colorful person.
Right,
And
okay.
most doctors are rather, like you said, sterile.
yeah.
Well, maybe not sterile in that regard, but well, they might be. Oh,
You just
I haven't
You don't
asked.
know.
That's a little personal,
send a survey around. Just
right?
ask.
Yeah. Do you have any kids? Okay.
Great icebreaker.
It's a great idea.
Hi, are you sterile?
Even before I ask their name,
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna remember the name anyway, quite frankly.
Right,
So you
true.
might as well just.
but you will remember if they're sterile.
I think I probably would. I
Right.
think it's a lot more
Yeah,
likely
sterile,
I'm gonna
sterile, not
remember
sterile,
if someone's
not
sterile or
sterile.
not. I'm terrible with names. Great with being sterile.
See, Steve was worried about coming on. He's like, "Oh, I'm like, you'll be next to me, and I'll just."
It'll be fine.
It's all fine.
I was
Everything's
like,
fine.
you're just talking to Jason. Don't worry about it. You love talking to Jason. You can do it for hours.
We never know why we're bringing guests in, but I just wanted to
It's always my
have
question.
you guys in because I just think you're some of the biggest art supporters that I know in town.
Every event
She's
I
an art
see,
doer.
at least one of you,
Yeah.
if not both.
Creators and supporters. I mean, going back to the doctor stuff, Steve had doctor bills forever to pay your
Seemed like
college off.
Yeah.
And then
competed with the
what
house
does he do?
mortgage, yeah.
As soon as he pays it off, he's like, let's throw a party. And he's like,
Flamingo Fest.
Flamingo Fest
Hilarious.
happens
fun.
at Bent Paddle and
That was a good time.
picks his favorite
And now it's a
bands
thing.
and supports. Yeah, now it's a
Yeah.
thing.
It's a recurring event now.
Ben Bell is taking it and run with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
I'm happy about that.
So how long is that? How long ago was that, or how long has it been going on then?
I guess just 2 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Still,
how long
I
he's
mean,
been
yeah.
paying on those loans.
I know, yeah. I graduated in 1886.
1886.
It took forever to pay off that
Yeah.
freaking loan.
Yeah.
Interest, man.
I swear
Interest.
this, swearing this thing. That was
140 years of interest.
It's something like that.
yeah.
140
Okay,
years. Quick math there.
I know. Yeah.
And then I noticed, Annmarie, you have
very
a
good.
bachelor's in art and geology,
Yeah, actually, my primary focus was geology, so it's geology with honors.
which I think is, that
Um,
kind of reminds me of our last episode with
Oh.
Karin. But it's just that's interesting too. These are the medical thing and the geology thing. They feel not as colorful and creative as the other things that I've seen from
Right.
you. And so it's what
Geology? What
what
draw
about
me?
it? Yeah.
Oh,
It's
well, I
sedimentary.
was. It's
Mother.
sedimentary. Well, actually, yeah, because I kind of focused on hydro, so that is sedimentary. I think it kind of started with like looking at different anatomy courses you could take for drawing,
Oh.
and one of them was paleontology. Technically, it was an anatomy course, and I'm like, this is really fun. And then I was like, hey, this is like Jurassic Park all the time. This is the best. And so I looked up, like, what do you have to do to like continue studying paleontology? And you have to get a degree in your undergrad in geology or biology, or both, preferably. And so I started with geology because geology is more fun to me than biology. And then I started doing a lot of art classes just on the side because that's what I'm doing in my brain in my free time all the time anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So I just started taking classes and formally made it a second major. And then I didn't become a paleontologist.
Well, and which is, yeah, I think that's interesting.
There's still time.
There's still time.
So I'm assuming I'm assuming you're somebody who's been drawing or something at least all your life, right?
Yeah.
And did you ever consider going to art school?
Oh, yeah, I went for a whole year.
And,
And I dropped out. So
Okay.
I'm an official art school dropout.
I am too. Yeah.
And then my art school closed before I finished paying off the loan. So my
Ah.
loan even lasted longer than the art school.
Wow, that's
Oh.
impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Memphis College of Art.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Memphis.
One of the most
Memphis.
miserable places.
The school or the city?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they got a nice zoo.
Good
They do have a nice
barbecue.
zoo.
Good
Barbecue.
barbecue.
Good place,
Unrelated.
good
to
place to get
the zoo.
murdered.
Nice little hotel with ducks in the fountain.
Some
That's
really
the great thing
fun
about
little
Memphis.
outside music joints that aren't on the main.
Yeah.
Not on Beale Street, but if you get away, there's some good spots in Memphis.
I had a nightmare about Memphis the other week.
I think you're not the only one
It's
who's had a
terrifying.
nightmare.
He grew up there,
about-
so
I
he's
did.
got more of a right to.
I won't elaborate.
Yeah.
Jesus, bad.
You were one of the kids doing cartwheels for tips.
I was one of the nerds.
Oh,
I'm sure that shocks you.
yes. There had to be a reason you became a doctor. You have to have some major nerd skills to be a doctor. I
Right.
just think it's
Yeah.
a prerequisite. And apparently an artist too, because between you and Karin, and she was getting into the clay, and I was just like, I know nothing about
Yeah.
geology.
I feel like every episode I've said this too. I've said this at least once before to you that like I just feel like an idiot every time we talk to people because I'm like they're just look at all this stuff
That's
they're
why you
doing.
invited me.
look at all
I
this
make you
stuff
feel
everyone's
smart.
doing.
I know.
Oh.
So,
Whatever-
like Jason and I, we get done with an episode and we're like, God, that was so interesting. What are we doing with ourselves?
We're supposed to inspire you to do more.
and actually,
That's the
and
point of
actually,
podcasts.
it does. It does actually. I've done so much more
Learn
since we-
yo-yo.
You should take up ultimate frisbee.
Oh yeah.
It attracts
ooh.
girls.
It attracts girls.
You know, my only
Then
knowledge
walk
of
away.
ultimate frisbee is
Kills
that-
girls on contact.
Like, don't people like break bones and like collarbones especially all the
Yeah.
time?
Oh yeah,
What?
yeah. It's a
Breaking
horrible sport.
bones.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
My roommate
recommend it to
dislocated his
children.
elbow.
Yeah, see, I don't want to do
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Wait, what
Yeah.
is that? Is it
This-
like?
this
But
joint
why?
right here?
It's
It's like the elbow.
Right elbow joint.
Well, I'm glad I haven't
Did I
broke
do the
mine.
hip joint.
Ultimate.
I'm
Do
a
you
doctor.
run? Is it like football? What is?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
a lot of running. It's like soccer with a frisbee.
What's the regular kind of just? Oh, I'm thinking of frisbee golf.
Golf.
Ah,
Yeah.
ultimate is like
The ultimate
you just run it.
frisbee.
It's the same,
Yes.
but you're not tackling.
actually we
Or do you
ended up
tackle?
in
You're not
Duluth.
supposed to, but when I
Oh.
first learned, that's what we did. It was tackle ultimate frisbee.
Oh my.
It was so fun.
That sounds not fun.
It was awesome.
But you ended up in Duluth because we went to a recruitment program, and there were different booths for different tables for different residencies you
Doctor
could go
recruitment?
to. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
doctor recruitment. And there was a Duluth table, and they were really like friendly and outgoing, and Steve was having fun talking to them. And then he went and talked to the Klamath Falls, Oregon table, and they were outgoing and friendly. And Klamath Falls, Oregon gave them like some coffee, and he went over to Duluth. He's like, Klamath gave me coffee. They're like, oh yeah, well we have. And they pulled out a frisbee, and Steve's like, oh, it's
It was glow in the dark.
a glow in the dark, correct weight for ultimate
Yep.
frisbee. And then he went over to Klamath and showed them that, and Klamath is like,
They're
"Well,
all
we're
set.
gonna set up a ultimate frisbee game while you're in town interviewing." And they just were going back and forth. It was
Yeah,
great.
It was.
So I think those were your top two
Working the
picks. When you,
system.
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah. But anyway, for a while I was like,
Buddy,
that
my
ultimate frisbee is why we ended up here.
Yep.
For, in like the silliest betting war I've ever heard.
So the glow in the
I'm
dark
easy.
frisbee was the very earliest prequel to the
Yeah.
Darkness Festival.
Totally,
Right.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Embrace the darkness.
Embrace the darkness.
Which is what?
So after Steve did his, I've paid off my doctor loan party at Bent Paddle, which turned into Flamingo Fest. Then you decided it's dark. I really like glowy blacklight things, and you just like wanted Brothers Burn Mountain and
Watercat.
to play with like dangerous levels of black lights.
That was awesome.
Like they're setting it up. It's
beautiful.
like you should probably wear
Yeah,
sun
sunglasses,
lotion
yeah.
and sunglasses. I'm like, what? I don't want to do sound. I'm like, am I gonna melt? Yeah, yeah. Everyone's got like neon colors and black lights, and that was great though.
It was a beautiful party.
That was a
And Daniel Benoit projections.
yep.
Yeah.
So you doctor turned
A thorough good party.
good party thrower and festival igniter.
Sure.
Attender?
A tender, but then
Maker.
Tinder. He's
Tinder.
a Tinder,
Yeah,
not Tinder.
Tinder.
A
Swipe.
Tinder?
Right?
Distractor?
Which way is right?
Yeah,
Which way is right?
maybe.
Which way is good?
I
Right?
don't know.
I like that.
Festooning?
How soon after moving here were you guys getting involved into Duluth kind of things?
Oh, geez. Well, the first few years we lived here, he was going to his residency program. So we honestly
Yeah, like
thought
100 hours
we
a
were
week.
going to be
Oh,
here
cool.
like 3-4 years and then move back out to Missoula.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, we were like, well, it's actually kind of fun here. And so we just started hanging out more and more and trying different. If you live in Duluth this long, you've tried like all the different Duluthy things. Like you've
Right.
done mountain biking, you've done bird watching, you've done astronomy, you've done all sorts of stuff. And eventually, like, you know, you end up on crutches and your husband's trying to get you out of the house desperately. And he's like, look at this little video. If you watch this video, we can go get pizza and watch this band play this song. And he showed me the most adorable Brian Barber cartoon I've ever seen. And they were singing Big Voice.
No way.
Oh,
And he
God.
made me go see Woodline, and that was what kind of started us
That
going
was
out.
the start of it.
You didn't know Woodbine?
So-
you just saw
No.
the cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
we were
saw
looking
the
for something to
listing
do.
on like,
What
you know,
the
Thirsty
heck?
Pagan.
Did you? So that's before you met Teague?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You were at first.
Oh. And now you have a cat named Teague.
Now I have a cat named T.
We should have a cat named Vaco.
I thought for sure. I don't know. Yeah. A muskrat. No, I'm the muskrat. A pet polar bear.
How about a mongoose? That's more Duluthy.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Faco wouldn't mind be a mongoose. If he couldn't be a honey badger.
Well, I think like Ian requested to be our
garlic
next
badger.
pet name because he was like, "Hey, you got a pet named Teague. How about you don't have one named Ian?" And
That'll be the pug. If we
yeah,
ever get a pug,
Steve
we'll
wants
call
to
it
get
Ian.
a pug someday.
Oh.
I love pugs.
You
They're
do?
so cute. I love their little flat faces.
And they're
unfortunate.
really like
Yeah.
the ultimate
They're
Duluth
unfortunate.
dog. It seems like.
Oh really? You think?
Yeah, I mean, I think pugs really are the Duluth dog.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's a hard question to
it's-
answer.
Snickerdoodle.
Yeah,
No,
that's the most
Padoodle?
thought-provoking thing I think we've said tonight. Yeah, 'cause
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has a different opinion.
Because I don't.
Nobody agrees with me.
I don't. Yeah, because I don't. I feel like I inherently.
Unless they have a pug, and then they
See,
totally
I know
agree
someone who
with
has a
Right.
pug, and I feel like it's what's making me disagree.
me. You don't
but
think Tyler Scooten is like totally Duluthian?
Well, I don't. I.
How about Maria Bamford? Come on, these are pug lovers.
Pug lovers.
Puggers.
See, you're making really good points, and I.
Yeah.
And then-
Yeah,
and
let's
my-
concede.
My biggest issue is I have no rebuttal, and so,
You win.
so I hate
I thought it'd
admitting.
be like a sled dog like one.
That's
No.
what everybody thinks, but if you think about it, it's like these cold winters, and like
You just
And
want to
everyone goes,
snuggle
you just
a
want to
pug.
snuggle
Yeah,
this
Snuggle a
cute.
pug.
Only
little-
people who aren't from
Pug
here
all
would
snug.
think that we'd want to be outside, but if you live here and you realize, oh no, God no, I don't want to be out there.
There I
Jesus,
know.
are you kidding?
I do.
It's cold and
Oh,
windy.
yeah, you do. You go skiing.
I wish there was snow.
I want to just go inside.
There is that spirit. They keep making it.
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
That's
that
fake
river
snow.
water turns into snow if they pump it through that thing. I feel bad environmentally.
Have you been skiing this year much?
Yeah.
Oh.
In my short time of coming back
I was
and
going to say in your shorts.
yeah, my shorts.
Yeah.
I've been like in shorts.
That's wrong.
No, boxers. I meant.
That's okay.
That's all I have under my ski pants.
I swear I have underwear.
Just boxers. I get sweaty.
And what better way to air them out than going down a hill really fast?
We were up
That's
to
invigorating.
46 the other day. My friend has a little clocker. I'm like, oh.
40 miles
How
per
fast
hour.
you're
Yeah.
going?
Oh,
Holy smokes.
Wow.
And I didn't think I was going
You gotta
fast, so
break
that
your other
explains
arm.
how I wreck myself once in a
Right.
while.
Wow.
yeah. What did you do?
Well, if you do crash going 50 miles an hour, it can hurt.
Yeah, didn't you like break your collarbone like last year or something?
2 years
2
ago.
years
2 years
ago.
ago?
It's getting better.
I remember
You should
that.
take up biking.
Yeah,
It's much
that was-
safer.
I definitely have. My first shoulder injuries were definitely bike related.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my next goal.
When
Next
you're
thing I
when
break
you're
is on my
looking at the
clavicle.
moon and biking along the lake walk and you don't realize you veer into when there's two layers and your pedal gets stuck on the wood part and you're on the tar part and yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
we've
wow.
all been there.
There's little blinky lights going and you're on the ground with the wind knocked out of you and
Mhm.
everyone comes out of the bushes. Hey, can I hit that? It's like, no, it's not a. No, I can't even talk. Oh.
Wait, what are they wanting to hit?
All I thought I'm like sparking something. I'm like, no, I've just crashed and my bike lights flashing.
Oh, that's
My bike is on fire.
It's like, where'd you guys come
no,
from?
it's a flashlight. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Take me home. I feel like if anyone is still listening, they're like, why are these guys allowed to do a podcast, first of all?
That's because the internet is still the Wild West, baby. We can do whatever we want. No, there's no rules.
And then the other part is like, why did they pick these guys? But I just, before I forget,
I hope they're not wondering that.
the show always has some thread to the community of the cafe. And if people don't know, Annmarie's been doing the art roster here for a long time now.
2021, I think.
That's a long time
Yeah.
as
Not
the
2024. So I mean,
That-
Oh yeah, that's
that's-
been a couple of years.
which also
um,
that's kind of blowing my mind as we're all saying this right now because it's just like, oh yeah, it is. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been
it's
a minute.
crazy. Well,
It-
we
like-
had the COVID reset, and that like literally was a weird time
Yeah.
warp. But normally, like someone helps with art for like a year and goes, "This is crazy. It's like herding cats."
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So, and then they're like, "All
I
right,
used to
that was
foster cats,
fun.
I know this."
Next sucker." But then, I mean, Annmarie has that whole community side, and she did the mural at the Zenith bookstore.
Yeah, I didn't do the one on the outside. I did the
On
one
the
on
inside.
the inside.
Oh, yeah,
That's above
better-
the children's
better
area.
specify
It is
that.
worth
On the
noting.
outside, that's Jonathan Thunder.
And if you've seen any of the chalk art for homegrown or like almost any chalk art in town,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
Is there anyone else around?
I keep hoping.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Mary, she was doing it for a while. And she did a lot of community events where she got people together to do big sidewalk
Oh.
street paintings.
Mm-hmm.
it's
I
probably
don't know,
not
I'm always looking for
ergonomically
friends.
correct.
It's
it
a
looks like
hard sell in Duluth because we only have like 2-3 months of warm weather to do sidewalks
and no nice
and-
sidewalks.
Well, we do have some really nice sidewalks,
Oh,
especially like anywhere where the flood from 2012 happened. There are amazing sidewalks. Like King Creek Dog Park, that place is beautiful.
Oh.
That is a good spot.
Yeah.
I go there all the time.
So yeah, like last summer I kind of picked out some spots where I knew there were nice sidewalks, and went and did murals in specific parks just because I liked their sidewalks. That was what started that project.
So when you mentioned just now that the fact that we only have those few months of nice weather and everything, that's kind of an interesting thing about making things with chalk at all, and it's just the fact that it's like I know like all our work is going to disappear, right? But you know for a fact that yours is going to disappear a lot sooner than others,
right?
And how does that? Well, one, does that impact it, and if so, how?
The temporal nature of it just makes it kind of more precious and more important. And it's like you have to go and see it now or it's going to be gone. I mean, social media has made a life for chalk art that has exploded, and that's why it is the big thing it is today. Because, I mean, how many people have seen forwards where there's like 20 pictures of guys with different weird holes they've drawn in the ground, and they're like, look at this is amazing, my dog's afraid of it. And like that's taken off, and it's all over the world.
I need to scroll more chalk art. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a
Don't
big
show it to your dog.
big
Well,
thing
now
right
now my phone will hear that, and now I'm gonna just be photo bombed now. Yeah, with shoulder wraps and fix that shoulder and take some time, and during your therapy you can look at chalk art.
Your new boxers.
Yeah.
In my new boxers, waterproof boxers.
yeah.
Breathable.
Perfect for skiing.
Like one thing I tell people at festivals is I'm like, think about it this way. Like all your mistakes, all your triumphs, they just kind of get washed away in the rain. And then you have a brand new canvas. And can you imagine storing 10-foot by 10-foot canvases? That's what I tend to draw in.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
That would be a
It's
very
lot.
daunting, exhausting task.
Yeah.
Plus, like, you know, people don't really want to see my art for much more than a day or two. So it's perfectly fine like this. I think it's a great format for me.
And I suppose you don't want to see it.
No, I don't want to see it.
And I understand
Like,
that
especially
too.
after like 2 days in the sun of working on it, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
like taking that final photo, sometimes I'm like, this is even hard because I just am too close to it and can see all the mistakes. And then like 2 days later, I'll look at the photo and be like, dang, that was my best one. I should have taken a better angle.
Oh, isn't that?
Yeah.
That's like anything in art, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you're done with an album and you don't even want to promote it. You're like, I hate that thing. And you haven't even put it out. Yeah, you're just like, whatever you're doing for so long, by the time you're done with it, you're like, done.
I gotta say, it's really encouraging actually to hear you say that though, because I see everything. I feel like I see everything that you do, especially on Instagram, and I just kind of think, wow, look at all this. It's just
I post a lot.
Yeah, and
I
it's
post
really,
an awful
and
lot.
you make a lot too, and it's really I
And
find
I don't even post all of it.
Oh, really?
That's the funny thing.
But I guess wow, that's impressive.
It's a different kind of addiction.
It's a serious addiction.
I can't stop making stuff, but I never finish it because I don't know what
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
That's
slowly
one thing
throughout
that like
this podcast.
social media helps you be accountable for. So
I
like
suppose,
you
right.
kind of are like, I have to finish that or I can't post that reel. And I videoed like, you know.
I guess my issue is I can't get myself to care about social media either.
I was gonna
It's
say,
hard. It's really a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But I think you do it well, and
Thanks.
You do it well, but I'm always like, how they were at the show that did this, they did this, and what? You're growing garlic with Vaco and trying to keep the bears out of the honey patch, and you're going to bee seminars and apparently
You're
still
so
work
cool.
in there somewhere. And
bee seminars.
how is this
I like
possible?
your sticker. Save the bees.
Well, Steve doesn't sleep much.
Save
That's
the
how he
bees.
does all his
I
work.
get up early.
Oh, are you like only sleep 5 hours a night?
No.
8 hours?
7.
7.
Close enough.
That's good.
Yeah.
7's perfect.
7's
Seven's
pretty
fine.
decent.
And then sometimes I
I
get a
wake
nap
up
in.
and I come downstairs and he's already like exercised and worked out and like done 20 things on the computer for work and made coffee.
Yeah. That's the most importantly.
Rock the house.
So you
rock the house.
You both kind of just go
And feed the cats.
then. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous and impressed. And
We're not good at relaxing. Like our vacations, we've gone on with friends. Like they've complained that we don't relax. In fact, we stayed in one Airbnb in Denmark. Yeah, Copenhagen, where the hostess said to us, she goes, "You two are not like the other Americans. I go to bed. You're not here yet. I get up. You've already left, but the blankets are rearranged, so I know you were here. It's like the bathroom's clean. You guys are you're quiet as mice. You can stay whenever you
that's
want."
nice though. I think, or at least I think it sounds nice. I
Oh,
mean,
we were having so much fun on
right.
that trip.
So
Like,
there
and it
you
was
go. Yeah.
longer
We like
daylight
travel.
hours, and yeah.
I love when these guys come in. I can tell. I'm like, where are you guys going? They've got double laptops and some books. I'm like, you're planning a trip. Like, well, yeah, we don't have any kids, and
Well, it's the best place
I
to
paid
take a
off my
trip.
student loan.
We can be like, hey, Jason, I'm
I'm
going to
sterile.
Arizona.
I'm
And he'll be
sterile.
like, hey, let me tell you about all these places. And
Oh, right, perfect.
Yeah.
Get a little like tour guide,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
Jason will just rattle off
Oh,
a
I
million
know.
places for you to go and
Yeah.
to stay
Yeah,
and go get coffee at this place.
Bizarre.
and-
But not in Iceland or. You guys have been going to some fun spots.
You do some international touring.
Yeah.
We do a lot of like, hey, look, there's cheap tickets to this place. What do we want to see there?
We just look for what's on sale.
I
we
mean,
go there.
That's a great way to go
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, how else are you supposed to choose?
No.
And it's arbitrary anyway,
Right,
isn't it? Right.
right.
You know. That's nice. Oh, that's real nice. That just sounds nice.
It just sounds nice.
Just thinking.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so humble. That's my favorite.
Boy, you took a lot of notes.
Someone's
Oh,
got
just
to.
copying and pasting
Holy
of things.
Nikes.
This is. I've been slowly getting better about doing notes. I mean, compared to our first episode, where I literally just sat down and was like, "Who are all you people?" This is-
He looks at me and is like, "You're not helping. You're just laughing."
yeah, you just like, Jason, do you have any questions? And, no,
No.
I'm just having fun
You're in
being
charge.
here. Okay.
I looked over. I literally thought you were reading an article. I was like, he's just reading an article.
Nope.
Jason's talking.
These are my
Probably
own
is.
notes.
Trying to catch
There's
up.
notes.
Yeah, no, I
Dang.
got like. Well, I mean, you have a really handy bio on your website. That's
Really?
Yeah.
You have a
Good.
website?
Yeah.
Good.
What's
I have
your
a
website?
You have a bio?
www.agenius.com.
Spelled incorrectly.
It's spelled like my name. It's Ageniusz.
It's the SZ that makes it look incorrect.
That's the
but
Polish
that's
part.
The Polish part.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sausage.
Yeah. So I have some of the different mediums that you work in: chalk, stained glass, murals, and illustrations. I guess mural and illustration isn't medium. There aren't mediums, but different things that you do. Do you have is chalk your favorite, or do you
Depends
just
on the time of year.
fair
Like
enough.
this time of year is wintertime, so
It's
like
so-
my brain is totally in stained glass.
Oh, so yeah. I guess
And
it's,
like
yeah.
right now I'm making like 3D VHS tapes for Lizard's Gallery, and it's
3D
like
what?
VHS tapes. They say "Be kind, rewind," and they look like
Out
a
of
VHS
stained
tape
glass.
out of stained glass.
Okay, I'm like, I don't get it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. I made like one for their small works show, and at the end of their small works show, I went to go pick up my stuff, and they were like, "Hey, could you make us some more of those? Like everybody wants them."
Be
And
kind,
so,
rewind.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Remember when you wouldn't rewind and they'd be mad at you?
yeah, yeah. Well, I remember having like a special machine that was like by the
Uh-huh.
back door, and you'd rewind that videotape before Dad took it out the door for him.
A Street Video had the wall of shame. If you didn't bring a tape back, you'd be on the wall of shame, and he had like a photo memory, and you'd.
Back before I was born.
I don't think so.
1880.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was.
But yeah, like in like 2 months from now, I'll just be I'll be doing chalk art in my brain.
It just transitions with the seasons.
Yeah,
basically.
it really does. I mean, there's
Oh.
also this thing where like most artists, you end up really introverted and inside in the dark. And like my stained glass studio is literally like the old man workbench in my basement.
Oh.
So then once it's like sunshiny and beautiful outside, like you just want to be out in the sun. And
Oh no, I look
And
forward.
hang
To,
your stained
I look
glass.
forward to every rainy day so I can stay inside.
You would.
It's my. You,
You
know,
picked the right time.
I did right. I have this vision in my head of Bill Watterson, who made Calvin and Hobbes, and he's very private, and so I don't know where he lives or anything, but I imagine he has like a window in the woods, and he looks out and he just draws cartoons all day, and that's exactly what I want, so bad. And you never see
that sounds
anybody else,
beautiful.
and you just and that's it. It's just a room and a drawing table and a window. The dream, the absolute dream.
There's all kinds of dreams out there.
I know that sounds like your hell.
That is my hell.
I think it sounds great.
Right?
With a nice couch to
it's
take a
like,
nap
well,
on.
maybe-
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
Oh,
die
Yeah,
I never think about the rest of the room. Oh my
Right.
God, you can put a couch in there. I'm only looking this way.
and a beer
out the
fridge.
Coffee
window.
machine.
Yeah. Oh, and
Oh, coffee machine.
Yeah.
Oh.
I no. See, if I do that, then I will literally never leave. I need to have at least one reason to get out of the house, and I think coffee's gonna have to be it.
Bathroom.
No.
Bathroom's outside.
Gatorade jars.
I have an outhouse just to make sure I sometimes get my steps in. Where do you think your favorite place in Duluth is that you've done or maybe even want to do a piece? Because why
Oh, the Primo spot.
Because I can think of like I've seen you do stuff outside of the depot, and I know that's just a big nice area, and I always think that looks nice.
That is a really
But it's in
beautiful
the shade.
sidewalk.
You
And
You did up at Hawk Ridge.
Hawk Ridge is
Yeah, nice
horrible
view.
pavement, and it's very windy.
Nice view.
Nice view. Well, Glensheen has great view.
Oh yeah.
I really liked the zoo. The zoo was really fun. But I guess just like the random places that there's this place that the Duluth Street Art Initiative keeps putting me. It's down the hill from Lifehouse. And like the biggest adventures of my whole summer always happen when I'm working there.
I bet, yeah.
And then like everywhere else I go all over the country to these different festivals, and everyone's like exchanging stories about like, hey, this crazy thing happened while I was making street art. And I'm like, oh no, let me tell you about downtown Duluth.
Oh God.
And I always beat everybody. And it's kind of interesting. It's,
I wouldn't expect that actually.
for street art coolness, that's like pretty awesome spot.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's one that I really, really like. It's the, what is that park called? It's like the Gitchie. It's right above the Chief Buffalo mural. And there's that big kind of flat area. There's like 3 or 4 entrances from Superior Street. Right behind you march through it if you take the fish parade up to Zeitgeist.
I
The
feel
smell
like
parade.
I feel like I can picture what you're talking about, but I can't
Like
think
by
of
the
it.
lake
is.
walk?
Over by.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Over in Canal Park area.
It's like Gitchie. No.
That's like where I
No,
crashed my
pronounce it.
bike and everyone popped out of that area and came
Yeah,
down
that area.
Yeah, that
That
sounds
park.
like it. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like that area.
That
But anyway, there's
overlooked
like
on the lake walk where
Jason's
everyone saw me
crash
crash.
Yeah.
But it was
there's
dark.
kind of a big open cement area, and I
Mhm.
think it would be beautiful for a chalk fest because you're even overlooking Lake Superior and
That
the
Oh
Wolf
yeah.
Bridge.
That'd be a good spot.
And there's like a little area for setting up a music venue, and you could totally have some little food vendors here and there. And
I think
yeah,
it's
so in my
extremely
head,
doable.
like imagining like one of my friends put it in my head. He's like, hey, we could bring up friends from the Twin Cities and stuff and just include Duluth in the chalk festivals. And I'm like, well, that would be a great venue. His idea was Glensheen, but I don't.
No, that would be super
know.
cool.
Yeah, this one's a little more central, a little
Yeah.
downtown. I mean,
I suppose just a bit more
Sister
accessible than
a little more accessible,
Yeah.
but also just that incredible view.
Well, yeah. Have you noticed that as just found that as a benefit as an artist to live in a place that looks really, really good?
That's definite. A lot of my art gets kind of informed, I say, by like living on the North Shore because it's just so gorgeous,
Right.
and it's like endless hiking trails and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
The other side, though, is if you have a chalk fest in a place that's so beautiful, it's kind of like having a really good opening band, and then you have to go on. It's
Right.
like, oh, we got to follow that.
Right, like we
Yeah.
went to West Yellowstone for a chalk festival and like purposely tried to stay. They were like, you can stay an extra night in this place. I'm like, absolutely, I want to see West Yellowstone. But there were some artists who like came in and left because they had to get back to work, and I just felt bad for them. I'm like, you didn't even get into the park.
Oh,
yeah.
weird.
You were on the edge of the park. They were just in that little
Tourist trap.
tourist town.
Right.
Whereas like I immediately when I got into that festival, I'm like, oh, I'm getting a year's pass to the national parks, and
Oh,
like
yeah. You
we
really
filled up
gotta
the
get
car
in
with
there.
chalk artists and we drove around the loop.
That sounds great
That
too.
was fun.
Oh, I keep getting. I'm envious of all the art adventures you seem to have gotten
Well,
up to.
yeah, the chalk adventures are really fun.
That alone, yeah.
Just-
I'm finally getting close to completing draft 1 on this comic idea I've had in my head for like half a decade, and I'm really hoping that once I get that done, some other comic artist will pop out of the woodwork somewhere, and I'll be able to kind of build a little comics community, like kind
that
of a
sounds
similar thing.
Awesome. I'd love
Right,
to help
right.
you with that.
Oh, and that was actually
Yeah.
a question I had because you said you made comics.
Oh, yeah,
before.
yeah.
Do you still ever make
I
comics?
still do. I make really sloppy, cheesy,
Perfect.
crappy comics,
Oh,
and
You
a lot
made
of
the
them.
woodbine coloring book.
Oh my gosh, no, that's the best comic ever made. Was the Woodbine coloring book.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw that.
That's the one where I told Vaco, I said, I'm really sorry. Every time I draw you, you keep getting younger and younger. And he said, it's okay, Annmarie. You're seeing my essence.
I love Echo.
Do you find that Jason is probably one of the easiest people to draw? Because I do.
He's really fun to draw, but I love Jason. And sometimes when I draw him, I look at it and I go, oh, that's mean.
Oh,
And I put it away.
I don't
and I
care.
start over.
No.
It's
Be
too
mean,
accurate.
be mean.
It's too accurate.
No,
No.
It's okay.
It's like, if you make his puppy dog eyes and his round glasses too big and things like that, it
go
looks
for it.
mean to me. Like, I would make a horrible caricature artist. Like, I've
Oh.
tried it a few times and it's just like, I'm like, no, that's mean.
I
I'm
think
just too
it's
Canadian for this.
it's
I can't do
great.
this.
too Canadian. Wow.
Yeah, well, Thank you to
Well,
Annmarie
this
and
was-
Steve for
this was
joining
fun.
us.
Thanks
It
for
was very
growing us
fun.
Yeah.
garlic. If no one caught this, the garlic we've been using all this year and last year came from Steve and Vaco and Steve Isaacson's house and land. All the love and community and
That's where our beehive
yeah.
is. We're gonna have 4 hives this year.
Wow.
And I heard you sterilized it
Yeah, and we're gonna sterilize them some more. We're gonna bleach them.
and electrocute the bears.
Right. Bear. Oh my god. Can I swear on this?
That's how you
okay.
get more bears.
Yeah. Oh, our poor bees. We have an electric fence this year.
How many pounds did you buy?
8
8
pounds.
pounds?
8 pounds of bees. No wait, 3 pounds.
3 pounds.
12.
12
12
pounds.
pounds.
Boy, whiplash.
I know. I have to do math
3, 12.
verbally, otherwise I can't do math.
You should cashier here on your days off.
I know.
Here's
That
your
way-
change. Wait, no,
Wait,
yes, hi,
yes.
no, huh. I'm just gonna keep this.
We'll come to Wussows.
I shouldn't have brought rum.